Scarutations. My name is Chance Kelly. This is Video Ghoulash. Today I'm going to talk about Spooky Soul Candle Company out of Sacramento, California. Stephanie is the creator, the artist over there, the artisan, the sorceress of scents. She started her company, I think, in 2022. They do like a coconut soy mix. 3-wick. She also has 2 wicks, and she does year-round spooky. Also does some really cool nostalgic type of fragrances. One thing that was really impressive to me about Spooky Soul is the same thing that impresses me about Witch Nose and South of Sanity, Lunar Light, Nikki over at the Brass Coffin, is how much is put in to the entirety of not just the fragrance, but the presentation as well. There's not a stone that's left unturned, not a detail that hasn't been probably wrestled over mentally with each one of these fragrances. Steph, I've messaged her. We've messaged back and forth. I've had her on my radar for quite a while now, and I'm so stoked to finally have some stuff in my hand. I've got 3 fragrances here: Sleepy Hollow, and Ghost Stories, and Bloodlust. So we're going to go over these 3 fragrances from her Halloween line. Some of these come back, so she restocks. There's one recently, Hex, that got restocked. I'd love to get a hold of that one. It's got like an anise, black licorice based fragrance. I'm so stoked to talk about Spooky Soul Candle Company today. Let's jump into it. Let's kick off with Sleepy Hollow. Again, what a presentation. Incredible label. UV printed lid. Spooky Soul there, which is really rad. Red glass. Very vibrant. Very high quality. I'll put this up there with Kringle and anything else as far as just flat out craftsmanship and like highest levels of quality. And that goes for the fragrance as well. Wow. So the fragrance notes on this are apple, there's warm bourbon, dark maple, and foreboding woods. So the apple and the bourbon work really well together in here. It's almost like a mulled bourbon, a mulled apple bourbon. And if you're not into like liquor scents per se, which usually, I go back and forth. I'm not the biggest person for liquor scents unless they're done really well. And this is what I'm talking about. So you've got this dark maple, right? Which is a very resinous kind of a note, right? And then you've got this bourbon. So you've got the spice. Bourbon is very a spice, dark spice kind of a liquor. I'm a big bourbon guy. I drink whiskey and bourbon almost exclusively. So the bourbon note in here is very authentic. The apple is very authentic. That's another thing about this. There's nothing that's artificial about any of her fragrances. They all strike me as the highest quality ingredients. But the way that this thing vibes is like a bourbon apple that has kind of a rooted wood fragrance. It's apple and bourbon out front. Not super boozy though, which is also something that's kind of cool about bourbon in a candle, is it brings a kind of a smokiness to it that's not flat out smoke. So it does have that quality too, this kind of dark woods and smoky apple. The apple's the star. The dark maple is beautiful. It's in there very lightly, giving it just that right punch of sweet. The darker end of the sweet, because the apple is doing the work in the mid-range. A banger candle, super Halloween. I'll give this a 5 for seasonal for Halloween. As far as spook factor, the bourbon and the dark woods in here, they lend it probably a 3 on the spooky scale. It has, it reminds me of a few things. Goose Creek had an incredible apple bourbon. This reminds me of that, but also has this very dark woodsy note in it that brings you right into the season, brings you outside, evokes a northeastern hill country and a cold, chilly autumn. And the Doulahan, the most famous Doulahan, the Headless Horseman. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow is awesome. Y'all gotta check this one out. I hope it comes back. Let's talk about Ghost Stories. And I love this label so much, man. The art on this label is so killer. One of my favorite arts on a label. Jen, my girl, she said this is her favorite. She stole a candle immediately just based on the label. Not even the fragrance, which is also awesome. The fragrance notes on this are smoky embers, earthy depth of damp moss, clove, and patchouli. This is a haunted bonfire scent. Oh, man. There's just something so incredible about this fragrance. It has this kind of strange X factor. I don't know. I think it's the moss. The way the moss is working with the patchouli. And so moss, embers, clove, patchouli. It sounds like it's going to be a lot darker than it is, but it has this kind of airy, kind of sweet quality to it. I don't know if it's the sweet patchouli in it. And the blend here again is the star on this one. None of these notes fly out at me as like the first thing that I smell. It's a vibe. The whole thing's a vibe. Clove can be smoky and sweet in a way at the same time too. So I think what we've got is a sweeter patchouli, and the way that the clove and the embers and stuff in here, you got a smoke and a fire essence to this candle, but it's not like crazy smoky or anything. The moss really roots this thing down into a very kind of outdoors earthy sort of element. I don't know, there's something about moss as a note in and of itself, and this is not like your dry craft moss. Well, maybe a little. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's a really great moss note in there. But you see, I'm searching. I say moss and I search in the moss. This is a blend that is so killer. It brings you right outside. It's so autumn-centric, too. It's like camping in the fall, which is the best time to camp, by far. But the way that sweet is in there with the patchouli and whatnot, yeah, I mean, it's like it fakes you out that there's marshmallow in there. And there's not marshmallow in there, and I know that, but the vibe is there. Like I said, again, this is the concept up, I feel like, is where Stephanie started with this. Like, she said, hey, I want the vibe, but let's not think so literal. And wow, this is such a cool candle. I love ghost stories. Again, this is like camping in the fall, so fall-centric, yeah. I'll give that... I'd say I'd give that a 5, because it's total. It may not go so Halloween for you, depends on how much you're outside during that time, but it's 100% autumn. There's no question about it. And spooky, yeah, it has a touch of that spook. I mean, with the moss, the damp moss, and this kind of woody patchouli scent, and the sweetness, yeah, it's there. So it gives you just a slight hint of spook. I'll give it a 3 on the spooky scale. Nah, strike that. I'm going to give it a 2 on the spooky scale. It's too nice. Nah, 3. Yeah, we're going to land on 3. Why not? I love this candle. I didn't even want to blow this thing out. First time I let it go for a few hours. I did not even want to blow it out. I mean, it's a perfect mood setter. It puts you right there and right outside too in the fall. I love it. And I'll tell you why not else. That gets a ghoul. I'm giving that a ghoul. It's too awesome. The amber glass, by the way. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous to look at. Incredible to smell. I didn't want to blow it out. Like I said, I didn't want to blow this thing out. Yeah, that gets a ghoul. Ghost Stories. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely incredible. What are you doing over there, Stephanie? Jeez. Well, if there was ever a candle that was custom made for Chance, with notes of damp stone, muddy puddles, peaty smoke, mossy oak, patchouli, amber, musk, sandalwood, all the good things, it's Bloodlust. Look at that incredible label, red glass. Yep, that's embossed. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous, creepy label. You gotta shut up with this. This thing is so good. I'm gonna come on record right now. This is up there with Dungeon. That's up there with Dungeon. That damp stone, the muddy, earthy, dark soil that's in there. Because this is what this is. This has this stone and wet soil, grave dirt. And it's cold and dark and scary as hell. I love the smoke in there is subtle. Again, if you're not like a smoky scented person, this is not gonna hit you like that. It's part of the ambiance. The peaty smoke in there. Oh my goodness. And moss. I mean, look. Oak is one of my favorite wood scents. Very masculine in a way. Yeah, very masculine. This has this fresh quality to it as well that doesn't really come through when I talk about the notes. I don't know what it is, but you get this cold air note. When I burned this hung out for like a day, by the way. But it gave this cold air note. The way that these things blend together, it felt like cold air. And it's got a touch of just the right amount of resinous sweetness from that amber and musk and sandalwood so that it's not fully dark. Like Dungeon's almost overbearingly dark. This broadens that spectrum. Bloodlust is incredible. And I'm gonna throw this out there too. There's a sharpness somewhere in here. I don't know if it's the stone, muddy puddles. The puddles could be the water. A little bit of that higher end, that airy note. That if you want to conceptualize it, kind of blood. Really what this candle is the most earthy, spooky, cold air, stone, dirt, moss, some smoke on the end, that sharp hit of peat. The patchouli, though, and the amber and the musk and sandalwood give it a very pleasant base. This thing gets a ghoul. It's absolutely an incredible candle. Top notch. That's a 5 on the spook scale, by the way. And is this fall-centric, Halloween-centric? No. This is a horror candle. This is year-round. Now, if these are the kind of fragrances that you get into only around Halloween, sure. For me, nah. It's I'm not going to give it a seasonal score. But this is a 5 banging spooky candle. One of my favorite things ever, with the frickin' cold air, almost stormy, chilly, dark. I love it. I'm in love with it. Bloodlust. It's a banger. Unfortunately, that's all I've got from that line. But what an incredible line it was. It had Season of the Witch, which it was like a dried leaves and molten cider based candle. There was Hex, the anise and cinnamon kind of spicy spill of a candle there. It sounded amazing. And October, which is a pumpkin muffin based candle. Blessed Samhain was in there too. Just an incredible line. I wish I had every single one of them. I cannot wait to get more stuff from Spooky Soul. And thanks, Steph, for such a cool box. Like, she puts stickers and, like, you know, creepy little spiders and the you know, the skeletons that you can fling on your wall or roll down. Just great presentation, great overall, awesome person. Cannot wait again to get more from Spooky Soul. That's all I've got for you today, but stick around, more to come. Keep it creepy, and I'll smell you later.